Namaskar, dear friends. Welcome to the alternative English class. Today we shall discuss Water, the Elixir of Life, written by Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman. In this essay, Raman talks about a common natural resource, that is water. The writer talks about how the human race has benefited from water and what would happen if by chance this water is not available for use anymore. Friends, we all have heard about the divine drink Amrit that is supposed to have made the gods immortal. We all have heard that the gods do not die, they are immortal, simply because they have drunk this divine drink Amrit, elixir. We human beings also want a share of this Amrit so that we can live longer, we can live for all time to come. Did the gods really drink Amrit? We don't know. But our scriptures tell us that. The writer regrets that while we are running after the mythical Amrit, we have neglected another Amrit or elixir that is easily available to us. And he says it is water, this common plain water. The writer calls it the commonest of all liquids. Water is easily available and it is the commonest of all liquids. Then the writer talks about what differentiates the Libyan desert from that of the valley of River Nile in Egypt. The writer says once he stood between these two landmarks. On one side of him there was the Libyan desert and on the other there was the valley formed by river Nile. Wherever he looked towards the desert, he found only sand and sand and sand. There was nothing else. There was not a single tree anywhere in sight. No living things were visible. But on the other side, he found one of the greenest, most fertile and densely populated areas. And obviously, trees were there in plenty, animal life was there in plenty. Then the writer asks us a question: what made this difference? The writer says that this has been possible because of the rich, fertile silt carried by river Nile. What is this silt? Silt is the fine sand, clay and other material which a river carries along with it. And these particles are deposited on the banks or in the areas surrounding the river where the flood water enters. The entire stretch from where the river originates to where it disappears into the Mediterranean Sea is deposited with the silt, and this silt is extremely fertile. The writer says water is the most powerful and most wonderful thing on the earth. Then he talks about how water adds to the beauty of the countryside. The writer says the sight of a little stream or a little pond by the side of the road attracts the attention of the traveler. Tanks or ponds where rainwater collects are most commonly found in South India. These tanks or ponds are not very deep. What is the color of their water? The color of their water is the color of the silt or the particles that rainwater carries along with it. Because of the heavy silt, presence of the heavy silt, their bottoms are not clearly visible. These tanks, says the writer, play an important role in South Indian agriculture. The sight of the sunrise or sunset appears very attractive when viewed through water. And the writer says water is very important. It can also reflect one's mood, the mood of the day. When the sun shines brightly in the sky, the bright sunlight is reflected on the surface of water. It appears bright and gleaming, shining. When the sky is overcast or covered with patches of cloud, water can look very sad and gloomy. So when the sun shines brightly, everywhere it appears gay, happy, enchanting. But when it is covered with sky is covered with patches of cloud, everything looks sad, gloomy. So thank you very much. We shall discuss more about this essay in the next class.